Hello and welcome to Harry Incredible Stories, the place where we dive into the most powerful and shocking true stories from history. Today's story is dark, chilling, and deeply important. This is the story of Adolf Hitler, how a failed artist became one of history's most infamous dictators. Let's begin. The rise and fall of Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20th, 1889, in a small town called Braunau am Inn, in Austria. As a child, he was quiet, loved drawing, and dreamed of becoming a famous artist. But life didn't go the way he planned. Twice, he applied to the Academy of Fine Arts in Vienna, and both times, he was rejected. Angry and humiliated, he lived in poverty, sleeping in shelters and selling postcards to survive. During this time, Hitler developed strong nationalist views and dangerous ideas about race, blaming Jews and other groups for the struggles he saw around him. In 1914, World War I broke out. Hitler joined the German army and fought bravely on the Western Front. He was wounded and received medals, but when Germany lost the war in 1918, Hitler, like many others, was devastated. He believed that Germany had been betrayed, not defeated in battle, but stabbed in the back by Jews, communists, and weak politicians. This false belief became his obsession. After the war, Hitler joined a small political group, the German Workers' Party. He quickly became its most powerful speaker. By 1920, it had been renamed the Nazi Party. In 1923, Hitler tried to take over the government in what's called the Beer Hall Putsch. It failed, and Hitler was sent to prison. While behind bars, he wrote a book called Mein Kampf, or My Struggle, laying out his radical ideas: a strong Germany, racial purity, hatred for Jews, and total control under one leader, himself. By the time he left prison, Germany was in crisis again. The Great Depression had hit, millions were unemployed, and people were desperate. Hitler used powerful speeches and propaganda to spread fear and offer hope. He promised jobs, pride, and a new German empire. In 1933, Hitler became Chancellor of Germany. He quickly took complete control, turning the democracy into a dictatorship. He silenced the media, arrested political enemies, and made the Nazi Party the only legal political group. Within a year, he declared himself Führer, the supreme leader. Then came the next phase: expansion. Hitler began to rebuild Germany's military, breaking the rules of the Treaty of Versailles. In 1938, he annexed Austria, then parts of Czechoslovakia. The world watched, but didn't stop him. On September 1st, 1939, Hitler invaded Poland. That was the breaking point. Britain and France declared war. World War II's shotgun had begun. Hitler's army moved fast, conquering much of Europe. France fell. Britain was bombed. But the real horror was happening behind the front lines. Under Hitler's rule, the Nazis began the Holocaust, a plan to exterminate the Jewish people. Jews were forced into ghettos, then transported to concentration camps. Over 6 million Jews, along with millions of others, Roma, disabled people, political prisoners, were murdered. Meanwhile, in 1941, Hitler made a critical mistake. He invaded the Soviet Union. The war dragged on. Then, in 1944, the Allies landed in Normandy. D-Day. Germany began to lose ground from both the East and the West. By April 1945, the war was almost over. Soviet forces were closing in on Berlin. Hitler, now hiding in a bunker under the city, refused to surrender. On April 30th, 1945, Adolf Hitler took his own life. 1 week later, Germany surrendered. World War II in Europe had ended. The cost was enormous. Over 60 million people died in the war. Entire cities were destroyed. The Holocaust revealed the depths of human cruelty. Adolf Hitler's legacy is one of destruction, hate, and war. But it's also a powerful warning: how dangerous one man can become when fear, lies, and prejudice go unchecked. Thanks for watching today's story on Harry Incredible Stories. If this story gave you something to think about, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible and important true stories from history. And remember, those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. See you in the next video.